We spend so much time wondering what artificial intelligence is going to become. But what if the more important question is what we are becoming because of it? That's the paradox we're diving into today.
I mean, the conversation is just everywhere, right? We're obsessed with AI's capabilities. Its power to code, to write, to create these amazing images. It feels like a constant stream of new, mind-blowing feats. But all this focus on what AI can do, well, it kind of misses the most important part of the story. And that's where we're going today. We're going to look beyond the productivity hacks and the cool tech marvels and ask, what is the subtle but really profound impact these tools are having on our own minds and on our own development as people? And this right here is the crucial point. It's not about AI making us less intelligent in the way we usually think about it. No, it's something way deeper. It's the potential for our growth, our maturity, and our ability to handle real complexity to just flatline. Okay, so to really get this paradox, we have to start with AI's core promise. It's the reason it's so incredibly seductive to all of us. And that promise? It's the end of friction. And let's be totally honest, it really does. Getting a first draft instantly, summarizing a super dense report in seconds, finding the perfect answer without struggling to search for it, it feels like having a superpower. It feels efficient. It feels like progress. But what if that friction, what if it was actually serving a hidden purpose? This right here is the central tension we really need to wrap our heads around. The very friction that AI is so brilliantly designed to eliminate might just be the exact thing that we need most in order to grow. Let's actually put a name to it. Developmental friction. Now, this isn't about pointless frustration, not at all. It's that productive struggle. It's the mental workout that builds our cognitive and our emotional muscles. And AI, well, it's kind of like a universal machine designed to let us skip the gym every single time. So, if you look at developmental theory, it says true growth comes from holding complexity in your mind, from sitting in that uncomfortable uncertainty of not knowing, and from trying to make meaning when you're under pressure. Now, think about that. Those are the exact struggles we now use AI to avoid. We're basically outsourcing the hard thinking, the uncertainty, and the pressure. And this creates this really startling paradox. On the surface, our capabilities just skyrocket. We can do more, we can do it faster. But underneath all that, our internal development could be slowing to a crawl. We become more dependent and maybe less able to think through nuance and ambiguity, because the tool is designed to give us a clean, simple answer. Let's just sit with that for a second. More capable, but less developed. It's a powerful and honestly a kind of unsettling idea that really challenges our entire notion of what progress even means.
So, what happens when this gap between being capable and being developed gets wider and wider over time? Well, this leads us to what might be the real long-term risk of these incredible tools we're building.
Okay, so our horizontal capability, that's what we can do with AI, is just exploding. It's exponential. But our vertical development, that's who we are, our wisdom, our maturity, that's growing at the same old slow human pace. And this creates a really dangerous gap between our power and our wisdom to use that power. So why does this gap even matter? Well, because in a world that is flooded with information, the most valuable skill is no longer finding more data. It's making sense of it all. It's about meaning making, which is a uniquely human task that's built on that very developmental friction we're starting to avoid.
So, with all this in mind, with this paradox, we have to completely reframe the way we think about bringing AI into our lives and into our work.
This is the default question we all ask, isn't it? It's all about efficiency and output. How can I get more out of the tool? But as we're seeing, that might be the wrong question entirely. This is the new question. It's a huge shift from what can the tool do for me to how do I use this tool to become a better, deeper human being? It's all about conscious use, not just efficient use. It's about protecting the friction that we actually need to grow. And that right there leads us to the final part of the story, and I think it's the most hopeful part. What is it that remains uniquely human in an age of just incredible artificial capability?
Look, AI can be a fantastic thought partner. It can ask really sharp questions. It can accelerate our own reflection. But can it replicate true human presence? Can it really hold a safe space for another person, sensing what isn't being said? I don't think so. And that's where the human advantage lies.
These are the capacities that AI just can't replicate. The ability to read the room, to understand the subtext, to connect with someone from a place of genuine care. This isn't about processing data. This is about being human.
And this really is the ultimate takeaway. In this big race to adopt the most powerful technology, maybe the greatest competitive advantage, the greatest source of value is simply our ability to consciously cultivate and protect our own humanity.
Now, this isn't a call to abandon these incredible tools. Of course not. It's a call to use them with wisdom. So the critical question for all of us is this: how will you use AI not just to be more capable, but to become more fully human? It's a question worth wrestling with. Thanks for joining me.